Ever since I finished high school, I've been working. Nothing special, just a job that paid enough to scrape by and slowly build up some savings. University never felt like the right path for me. I never saw the point in taking on mountains of debt, just for a degree I'd probably never even use. Around here, in this quiet little town, it's kind of a controversial way to think. Some people decide to stay and work little jobs that we have here until we die. Or others that seek ambition to leave, chase careers, chase cities, chasing something. But me, I decided to stay. I worked. It was just easier this way. 3 years went by just like that. Punching the clock, coming home, saving a little. The job never made me feel anything. It didn't challenge me. Didn't reward me. It just filled time. The only thing that gave me any sense of peace was my girlfriend. She made me feel like it all meant something. So when 2025 New Year's rolled around, something hit me. 3 years gone, and nothing to show for it, except for a decent bank account and a woman I didn't deserve. I told myself this year was going to be different. I needed to feel alive again. So I did something impulsive. I drained my savings and bought a truck. It was something different for me. I'm not even a car guy. But this unlocked the opportunity for me to go anywhere. I felt free for a moment. I took some time off work, grabbed my girlfriend and our best friend, and we hit the road. We were heading to a place we hadn't seen in years. A lake, tucked deep in the woods, about 3.5 hours away. We used to camp there as teenagers with our families, back when everything felt simpler, back when we didn't have jobs, or debt, or the weight of time pressing down on us. We were going there to breathe again. As we got closer to the lake, I noticed a wooden sign leaning against a tree. The writing on it was messy, painted in big, uneven letters. It read, "Tourists, respect the land or stay gone." I was the only one who saw it. I laughed a little. I figured it was just some angry local, probably tired of people showing up, blasting loud music, and leaving trash behind. Now, I do have to admit, I do like loud music, but I'm not the kind of person who ruins it for everyone. I keep it low when other people are around, and I always clean up after myself. Ever since I was a kid, I was taught to leave the campsite cleaner than I found it. Not long after, we pulled into the campsite. It was completely empty, not a single other group around. Since it was in the middle of the week, we didn't think of it to be weird. There was no phone signal, but honestly, we liked that. No distractions. Just peace. We were excited, just happy to get away for a bit and feel normal again. The first day went great. We set up everything, got firewood, swam in the lake, made dinner, started a fire, and went to bed. Same with the next day. It was perfect. Then came the third day. That afternoon we decided to go swimming again. While we were in the water, we noticed a boat off in the distance. It didn't move. It just sat there. We thought maybe it was another camper out fishing, as we hadn't seen anyone since we got there. After we were done swimming, we started heading back to the camp. We suddenly heard the boat's motor. It sped right past where we had been swimming, then turned and went back the way it came. The sound faded into the distance. We all thought it was strange, as the boat never moved when we were swimming, though we all shrugged it off. That night I wanted to do something a little different, something special. As the night set in, and the campfire began to burn out, I pulled out a small projector. I set it up against the side of the truck, and we all sat down to watch the Blair Witch Project, the original. It felt fitting, creepy even. A found footage horror film about people our age lost in the woods, just like us in a way. We were out in the middle of nowhere, by a lake, surrounded by trees and silence. Watching that movie in that setting got under our skin. So we packed everything up for the night and headed straight to bed. I forgot to mention in the beginning, but we stayed in one tent. It was pretty cozy actually. All three of us crammed into that one tent. That night though, I couldn't sleep. I could hear my girlfriend breathing steadily beside me, and our friend was snoring softly. They were out cold. I stared up at the roof of the tent, eyes wide open, just listening to the woods around us. Then I heard it. A sound I couldn't place at first, until it got closer. It was that boat. Same one we saw drifting on the lake earlier. I could hear the low rumble of its motor, slowly moving across the water, getting closer to our side of the lake, closer to us. And then, silence. No motor, no movement, just the sound of the insects buzzing outside, and the soft breathing from the people in the tent. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe they were fishing. Maybe they just moved to a better spot. Nothing to worry about. But then, maybe half an hour later, maybe less, I heard something else. A gunshot. It was close. Way too close. And then nothing but silence. Not even the bugs. Just silence. I was frozen. Completely locked in place. I could hear the others stir. Their calm, sleeping breaths had stopped, and they were now replaced with shallow, panicked breathing. They were awake, and just like me, they knew better than to make a sound. Then the footsteps started. Heavy boots on dirt. Slow. Steady. Crunching on the ground as they circled our campsite. I sat up slowly, trying not to make a noise. I looked at the others and brought a finger up to my lips, signaling them to stay quiet. Then we heard him. A man's voice. It sounded like he was in his late 50s, maybe 60s, slurring his words, yelling, rambling. He sounded drunk. He said something along the lines of, "When will you tourists stay out for good?" Something about us ruining his lake, trashing his woods. I felt sick. I thought we were going to die, right there, in that tent. I thought about reaching for my phone, but I knew there was no point, as there was no signal out here. And even if there was, no one could make it out here in time. For safety reasons, I always kept a knife under my pillow. I wrapped my hand around the handle and sat still. I was ready. I had to protect my girlfriend, no matter what happened. The man kept pacing. He kept shouting. Then, another gunshot. It was loud, right outside our tent. The kind that rattles in your chest. It made our ears ring. Right after that, a sharp, metallic scraping. Like something being dragged across metal or stone. And he kept talking, muttering to himself. It felt like he was out there for eternity. Then the footsteps again. This time heading back towards the lake. And finally, the boat roared back to life and faded off in the same direction it had come from. I dropped back into my sleeping bag, heart pounding so hard. My head felt heavy, my thoughts fogged. Then I heard her, my girlfriend, crying beside me. I held her close. I didn't say a word. I just held on, all night. We didn't sleep. None of us did. The next morning I was the first one out of the tent. I looked around and saw the footprints. Clear, deep prints in the dirt, circling our whole campsite. Then I saw my truck. There was a long, deep slash down the side of it, cut straight through the paint. My stomach dropped. I walked around to the front, and that's when I saw a bullet hole right through the windshield. 3 years of me working, all the money I saved, the joy of me purchasing this car, is now gone, just like that. We didn't talk much after. We just packed up. None of us wanted to stay a second longer. We got into the truck and drove. We all just stayed quiet. We were still scared. We drove straight to the nearest police station and filed a report. They said they'll look into it. They said they'll keep me updated. But I haven't heard anything since. It's been 3 months now. The truck's gone. I sold it for what I could. Drive something smaller these days. Nothing that's built for camping. Nothing that's built for going out. I think I'll just stay in this town. I don't think I'll be leaving here anytime soon.